Hi everyone, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Lisa and this is my channel about stitching and mainly cross stitch. I just thought I would get on here today. I had the day off from work and I thought I've been spending the whole day in here doing some finishing and whatnot, so I thought I would just end the day here and try to hop on here. It's been about 3 weeks or so. Time just gets away from me. But it was a good day today. So a little bit of I have some finishes that are fully finished. I did some framing. I have some that are in the process. I have some finishes and some new starts and a few whips. So hopefully there'll be something exciting for you to see. My face is all red and I couldn't figure out why. I left the sewing room a few minutes ago to go get something to eat, and I looked in the mirror and I thought, why is my face so red? I haven't even been out in the sun. And then I remembered that I got shots in my knees yesterday, which was such a blessing. I'm very excited about that. And I found out I don't necessarily need to get any kind of surgery anytime soon, so that was kind of a relief. So yeah, it's just been a good day. Yesterday I only slept like 2 hours last night, I think. And then I was up until, oh, I don't even know. But yeah, there's been very little sleep, but it's funny how those cortisone shots, they give you a little bit of energy too. But then it felt like I had like tickles on the end of my nose all night long. And then it seems like that subsided, but now my cheeks are all red and whatever. But hey, I can get up off my chair really easy now, so I'm excited. Anyway, you're here to talk about cross stitch, so let's get with it. Okay, so let's see. One of the first things I framed last week, I want to say, was Liberty House by Brenda Gervais. I just found a little thrift store frame for 50 cents and just mounted it and just put a couple buttons up there. It just seemed like the top needed something. It was supposed to have another little border, but you ever get to the end of a project and you think, okay, yeah, I'm done. And this is one that had just kind of hung on for a long time. I don't know why it took me so long, but anyway, so I was ready to get that off the list. So just a second. Okay, and so I have another one that I finished today. It is by, sorry, I got so much stuff right within fingers reach. So it's from Blackbird Design, Sweetland of Liberty book. I did the American Eagle, I believe, was the name of it. Yeah. So I finished that, and I was having a heck of a time trying to find a frame, you know, because I'm cheap. And I didn't go to Hobby Lobby or anything, but I had just been trying to go to my thrift stores, and I couldn't come up with anything because it's a rectangle. Anyway, but I did find this frame, and I want to say, oh, I don't know, it might have been a couple bucks. I don't remember. I know it wasn't more than $2. And so I thought, well, what if I was just to mount it in here? And so the first thing I did was try to make the backing for it, because I knew I would have a lot of extra space. So I just took 1.5 inch strips of fabric and stitched them all together in kind of a diagonal shape. And then I just laid it on some Warm and Natural and just did Stitch in the Ditch quilting on it. And then I mounted it around the foam core And then I took this piece and mounted it on foam core with pins. And then I laced it. And boy, I don't know. I mean, it's looking halfway decent there. But boy, was this a struggle to try to get it all lined up straight. I used some best press and kind of manhandled it a little bit and tried to yank and tug with when I was pinning it. And so it's not perfect, but it looks cute, I think. I just covered a button, and I had other things planned. So if I had it to do again, and I still might redo it, I might do a smaller little covered button. And then I just made a few little strawberries. And I had some, this color's more of a pinky red. And I had found some pink buttons at the thrift store. So anyway, this stuff is just all kind of just hanging here. I haven't actually attached it yet. So we'll see. But anyway, I'm happy how it turned out. Just made it work. And now for some reason, when I went to put the back on it, it's a little bit too big, which I don't know how that could have changed. I mean, I can see if it wasn't deep enough for it to go in. There's plenty of room for it to go in. It's just too big. I guess I shrunk a frame. Anyway, so I don't know. We'll have to figure something out with that. Okay, and then I had another finish. I finished Sepia Sampler from Not Forgotten Farm. I liked the stitch. It was a real fun little stitch. Now, of course, I changed the colors. I had done her spring farmhouse piece also, and so I just used the threads that she called for that, and just kind of threw them in different spots. So, and then to tie in the red, I did fill in a couple of the little doodads with red just to try to tie it in. But I was having a hard time with a frame for this one too. This was a 50-cent frame at the thrift store. And so what my thought process is for this, and I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'm gonna try it. I thought I would get to it today, but gosh, that other thing took me like 4 hours today, which, I mean, I guess it wasn't that bad in the whole grand scheme of things. I did eat breakfast during it too, but I thought, good night. It took my day, but that's good. It's done, and I kept going, so I was happy. But I think what I'm going to do, you have to just kind of visualize it because it's just kind of stuck in here, just kind of loosey-goosey. But what my plan is, I have more of this linen. So I'm going to figure out where I want my lace trim to go. And that's where I'm going to seam these two together. So I'm going to cut enough to where I know I can have enough to go all the way down and tuck around the frame. And then where I seam those two, my plan is to put some trim. And then since this had a key in it, I thought, oh, that would be cute to just hang a key across there. And so I don't know whether I will try to affix the key onto my stitching before I stretch it. I toyed with the idea of putting a magnet in my foam core, but I don't know if it would stick to a magnet, so I have to test that out too. But anyway, I'm really excited about finishing this one up too. I thought if the key doesn't work, I also thought about just like covering some buttons and putting them across there and maybe hang the key in the center. We'll see. But I got the stitching part done, so that was good. Okay, now I guess we'll move to, I did have, well, those were finishes also. I finished the America the Beautiful. I finished the Liberty House and the stitching, I think, since last time. and I finished the Sepia Sampler. I wanted to participate in what Lori Holt does, you know, so what she does in the morning, or before, no, in the evening, before she does her cross stitch project, she'll stitch 1 or 2 strands in a red work sampler. So I had this one on Pinterest for the longest, and so on a whim I started it earlier this week, and so I finished it up yesterday waiting for my doctor's appointment. But this was a freebie off of Pinterest by Sheepish Designs. So I believe if you just you know, tried to search freebie by Sheepish Design, you might be able to find it. If not, I can help you with that. Just send me a comment. And I used DMC 816. So I did not finish my drum. That was another thing that was on the list today, because I just thought, oh, this stuff won't take long at all. I'll be able to just zoom right through. But it took a little longer than I anticipated, but that's okay. Okay, so let's talk some whips. So I worked a little bit on the red sampler by Brenda Keys from the Sampler Company. I got my thread all lined up, and so I was able to get to work on the edge of the house. So let me see here. Trying to see which way the light would show it better. I guess that's okay. So I was able to finish the grass in between the people. I took it over and did the little 2 pots that will hold the topiaries and the steps in between. And then I started on doing all the little white work on the house. So that was going pretty easy. I also worked a little bit on Summer at Hollyberry Farm. And I have almost all of the roof done. Just trying to plug away at that a little bit at a time so I don't get completely behind. I did a little bit of work on Sweetheart Hill, which was a birthday stitch along with Barb. She's getting a lot further on hers than I am. But super cute piece. So I did work a little bit on it at like, I don't know, 4 a.m. this morning when I couldn't sleep. But I didn't necessarily trust myself to do any counting, so I just filled in on all that white. So I was able to get from like before the Y over to the H there. So I got a little bit of stitches put in there, but not a ton. Okay, and then the other day I went ahead and sat and got all my threads put together for a couple new starts I wanted to do. So I started Prairie Schooler Summer Breeze. So I went ahead and got them on a ring, a little bit of bling. And so anyway, I'm not real sure that this was the blue that they called for the bluebird, but that seemed a little crazy to me, so I don't know. I have 2 options there, but so I was doing the figuring, and because I wanted to start this one, and I wanted to start Honey Hill Hamlet by Artful Offerings. And so I sat there and was doing my figuring and refiguring just to make sure. And so I know I have plenty to do both of them on this piece. So I was able to get a start on Summer Breeze. It's actually a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. So anyhow, I decided to do the second row of letters because it would take me all the way across, and then I would know the other the other edge of my border. So anyway, so then on this side, I'm going to start Honey Hill Hamlet. I just love everything about that. I'm excited. I might even do that as I got my shots in my knees start. I mean, that's pretty sure I've always heard that that's a good excuse to have a new start is when you have your knees done. Oh shoot. And then I got my little bling in the wrong place when I actually had to redo it. So I was able to get, I'm using one of my little bling from Barbara. And so I think these were the called for threads. And so I thought, well, I'll just give them a whirl and see how they go. They looked pretty when I was picking them out. So I might start that tonight if I don't end up collapsing after my lack of sleep last night. Oh, shucks. Okay, so did I share everything with you? I think I did. It's funny, like the first week after a video, I usually stitch a ton. And then, like the second week, I don't really end up having enough time to do much that week for some odd reason. I don't know how it always works out that way. Anyway, and then I had to do other stuff on Monday, and then yesterday I had to go get my hair cut and my knees done. So that kind of took that part of the day up, but I just really overall feel like completely overwhelmed by the stuff that I want to do that I just haven't been having the energy to do. I have a lot of thank you notes that I need to get made and sent out because I've been receiving such wonderful things and I haven't done any thank you notes. And so then I just sit and go get down on myself. I mean, I've thanked them all through, you know, texting and whatever, but it's like, I like to send people a card. So anyhow, I did work a little bit. I don't know if any of you, I'm sure you do, watch the Calculated Stitcher on Flosstube, but she had started making a stitchy journal out of an old book. And so as soon as I watched the video, I thought, well, I want to do that. And of course I wanted to do it right then. And so I went down in the basement and was going through some of my mom's old books. And the only one I could really find that I thought was like an adequate size was like a medical journal, which it's kind of a little bit overkill. But anyway, she did such a beautiful thing. She's got fabric as little tabs and things. So anyway, so this is just kind of my first attempt. And a lot of I ran into issues where a lot of my stamp pads had dried out and I hadn't realized it. So I did go down and I got my re-inkers unearthed somewhere down the basement where my other craft stuff still is. And so I have remedied that, but so I was limited in what I could even do that had enough juice. But anyway, so I have little pull-out things that I can write different stitchy related things. And then I did some little journaling on here. And so basically that's as far as I've got. So, but then she'll do it by each month. It'll have like her goals and whether she reached them or not. If there was any new starts, she would list that and like what she stitched them on and whether it was called for colors or whatever. So I thought, well, that would be a cool way to, you know, kind of keep track also. And I have so many paper supplies that it would be a good use of some of them. So, but it was interesting. She did show a little bit on on the next video because I had asked some questions, and so she kind of did a little walkthrough on it. So that was so exciting. I was so thankful that she did that because she pulls out like 7 pages or something like that. She'll pull them out, and that will allow your book to still have space to close and everything. So that was something kind of fun and exciting to work on. I did start working out on my front porch and my back porch a little bit because we've been starting to have some nice weather. So I changed some things out on my potting bench out there. And I have a question. So I have a skirt that I made last year, and it was like a yellow gingham fabric. It was a sheet, I believe, that I used. And so, but it's gotten stained and whatnot, so I'm going to wash it. But then I was toying with the idea of tea dyeing it. But it's of course out there in the weather. But so I'm just kind of curious, has anybody really tea dyed anything that goes outside in the weather? I mean, I know I would dry it super hot after I dyed it, and I would iron it, you know, of course. So I feel like that would set it to some degree. But I don't know whether that would be my best bet to tea dye it, or would I just go and buy some RIT dye and just try to make... I'm just lazy. I don't feel like making another curtain. I don't know why, you know, but I'm just not feeling it this time. So I thought, well, wonder if I could just grunge it up a little bit somehow. So anyway, if anybody has any kind of tips in that area, I would appreciate that. I have been finding a few things at the thrift store, which has been fun. But I've been taking, I've been going for frames, but forgetting to take my cross stitch projects with me. So, but then the frames are like 50 cents or, you know, 75 cents or whatever. And so I'm just bringing home a ton of frames, and then they all tend to be like the same size. I don't know, from like a week or two when I did the same thing. So anyway, so I'm pretty set on frames for a little while. But I'm thankful that a couple of them will look like they're going to work out okay. I have to try to figure out where I want my patriotic wall to be. I don't know. I kind of have a feeling I might put these over there by where my hutch is, by my stitchy spot. Because my one dog who doesn't see very well, he's been running into a lot of things lately. So I feel like, and that's right where their dog door is. So I feel like I need to kind of widen the gap a little bit. And where I have the hutch, it kind of hinders me from opening one of the doors to the sewing room all the way. So I think if I push the hutch down, anyway, I think that would give me a little bit of wall space that I could hang a couple of things on. So we'll see. We'll see. I need to move my couch down a little bit just to give him more room, because poor thing, he just runs into everything. I don't know. Got to try to make it easier for him. So anyway, other than that, it's just been the same old, same old. I've been kind of contemplating changing jobs at work. But the more I think about it, I don't know if I'm going to do it. It would be kind of an interesting opportunity. I could go in at 7 a.m. where I normally go in now at 11. So, and I usually get home by 8:30 at night, and I could get home around 4:30 at night. So, but I still feel like it's still the same amount of hours. So after work, I don't generally want to do anything except just sit there and maybe stitch if it's right there and I don't have to get up. So I don't know that it's going to make any big difference, where now I can get up without setting an alarm. I can get up, I can red my house up a little bit, and then I can stitch for a little while and then get ready for work real leisurely, where if I have to be there at 7, there wouldn't be any time to red up my house or anything. So I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards just staying where I am and just praying more about liking people. The main goal was to not have to deal with customers. See, I would completely be in the back of the kitchen. I would still be dealing with my coworkers, which I have no trouble with, generally. but I feel like I'm still going to be exhausted, and the chances are I'm going to have to work 5 days instead of 4. So, I don't know. There's pros and cons. A good friend of mine said, just write out all the negative things and all the positive things, and then just see if one wins out. So, I'll have to think on that. So, I totally have to clean my sewing room and get this done. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of my mom's passing. And at first I thought, well, she would understand. You know, it takes a little while to get things rearranged and whatnot. And I do feel like we have gotten a lot of stuff accomplished, but it's still a complete disaster. And I want her, if she does look down, to see it pretty, not just all jumbled up. I still have 2 Christmas trees sitting over there that have all the decorations off, but they just haven't been carried down the steps yet. So it's like, I just need, so I'm going to really try by like the 18th, 17th or the 18th to really try to make a concerted effort to try to get this place in better shape, so that if she does look down, she'll be like, okay, you're doing all right. Oh dear. I hope you all are having some good time to stitch, some good time to create, some good time to be out in nicer weather. It does make you feel good. Larry's going to be putting in a little pond for Sarah, our one dog who really likes to play in the water. So we've taken down a couple of ponds in the last couple of years, and he wasn't going to do any more, and but now he just knows she needs something to keep her occupied. So I think he's going to possibly start that this weekend. So there'll be some changes going around here, but there's always changes when you work on a house. So my washing machine did completely give out a couple of weeks ago, and I had a little bit of water damage that got into a basket of fabric, and so I still haven't really checked that out to see if I ruined a bunch of stuff, but it's all dry and everything, but I think I got to it fast enough, but we'll see. But so then I had like a mound of laundry to do because we didn't have a washer for a week or so. So anyhow, so it seemed like that took a whole week just to try to get a little bit under control on that. So anyway. Oh, I did get, oh yeah, I have my finishes piled on top of it. But I did get some more happy mail, and I did want to share that with you. Let me get that here. I wonder if there was something else I was supposed to, I think I talked about that. So one of my first friends through my channel was Sandy, and so she's made me a little tabletop type of quilt that's so pretty, and then she has stitched a couple of little cross-stitch things for me. And so, but then for some reason we were just having trouble getting our emails to line up. So anyway, I have to, that's one of my thank you notes that I have to get out in the mail, because I'm having a hard time getting my email thing to work. But anyway, she sent me some toile, and I'm real excited about that. Really pretty pieces. So there's like some houses, a boy and his dog. There's some people out talking with each other and no mask. Oh, isn't that going to be fun again? So she sent me that, and then another piece. Is that the right side? Yeah. So it has like some chateaus and some water. I think that's water. Yeah, there's swans in front. So anyway, I gotta get busy here. And then there was a piece that was like a cream colored with green. Isn't that pretty? Oh. So, I have to get moving. I think they would make really cute project bags. I did finally, sorry. I did get to thinking about something I was going to do with another one that Sharon had sent to me. But anyway, but thank you, Sandy. I appreciate all that you've done over the years, how you have always sent me such wonderful things. And I'll get that thank you note here off to you real soon. But I got to looking at my, I think it was this piece. I got to looking at my jean jacket, and from where I hang it up on the hook, there's like literally a hole in like the piece across the shoulder, whatever that would be, under your collar. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do is try to fix that. I'm going to use some interfacing and try to fix that and do a new collar. And then do something on the cuffs, because my cuffs have, you know, completely shredded. So I think that's going to be kind of cool. So I was thinking about maybe using this one for that. We'll see. I have all these things. I have plans of making things for people. And it just seems like before I know it, the day is gone and I haven't gotten much done. But hopefully, now that my knees are getting a little bit better, I was to the point where I could hardly get up off the couch. If I'd sat down anywhere for like an hour, I mean, literally, I could barely get up. So, and then they were going out at weird times, and I was almost falling. So, anyway, so it's been a real blessing. Last night, I got up off the couch with no problem, and it was fun. So, and technically, I don't think it's really supposed to kick in for another day or so. So, yippee! Maybe I'll just get this place all spick and span. Yeah, I doubt it. I'd have to get a shot everywhere. Anyway, hey, thanks for hanging out and listening to me ramble on. And I hope everybody's doing great things. I'm excited about all the pictures people have been sending me. It's been motivating me a little bit. So I appreciate that, taking the time to send me stuff and giving me encouraging words on my comments and things. You guys just bless my heart, so I thank you so much. And I hope you'll come back and see me again. You guys take care. Bye.